welcome back. Hope you're enjoying your international break. Not long now until FPL is back. Happy days. If you're loving the content, then please do drop a like. Let's try and hit 70 likes on this video. That would be absolutely amazing. Do pop me a comment below. Who is your main target this international break? Are you on a wild card like myself? You know that I love to hear from you guys. Okay, let's get into this. I'll take you through my current wildcard draft. Let's show you a few variations that I'm also considering in the hope that it helps all of you guys out. So this is my current wildcard draft, and I have to admit to you guys that I'm not settled on it at all. I am not entirely sure I should have hit the wildcard button this international break, because I'm really struggling to nail down a team that sits comfortable with me. So there are some obvious nailed players in all of my drafts, as you guys will see. That is Haaland, Mitrovic, barring any injury news, Maddison, Martinelli. Yes, I could sell the Arsenal man, but I really would like to keep an Arsenal player for that North London derby, which is always a high-scoring game. Andreas, because he's good, cheap fodder, and hopefully will be good cover in Game Week 11 when we have a blank. Cancelo, James, and a 4.5 keeper. That's been a little bit difficult to nail down, as you guys will see in my draft, because there's some chat about Gaeta not necessarily keeping his place. Hopefully that's just a bit of scaremongering at the moment he's played so far, but yeah, a little bit of decision between himself and Raya really for that 4.5 spot. Now what I like about this draft is Tony, really. If I'm not going to spend the extra money to get Kane, then Tony is just 3 points behind him this season and is considerably less money with 3 tasty fixtures directly ahead of us. My sacrifice in this team is no Trent. The question here would be if to keep Perisic or downgrade him and up Emerson, leaving a little bit in the bank for future moves and having better cover on my bench. To be honest, with this team, it's likely going to be played as a 3-4-3, and so I guess downing Perisic would be the better option. Otherwise, I'll have an absolute benching headache. But with Perisic, I guess it's a little bit of Spurs cover. And on that note, here is my draft considering Kane. I am an Arsenal fan, and I've watched years of Kane scoring goals past us in North London derbies. Hence me moving on Saliba on my wildcard, because I think the likelihood of a clean sheet in that match is going to be very slim. The sacrifice here again is no Trent, and I'd have to drop Trippier to Shah. It would give me some Newcastle defensive cover, but it's not Trippier. There's also no Zaha in this team, which against Chelsea this week might not be so bad, but with Bailly's minutes being so all over the place, this team could seriously suffer in Game Week 12 during that blank. So what I got to think to myself, is Kane worth the 4 million something extra, plus the sacrifices in Zaha and Trippier, just to not feel like absolute crap when he scores against us? So something to think about there. Of course, I can go for Son where Bailly is and a Greenwood up top. I almost prefer that, although is Son back? Is considering Kane versus Son all over again, and without more information that's very difficult to decide on, whereas we do know what Kane's record is like against Arsenal. To fully accommodate one of Kane or Son, Salah really has to be Diaz in this draft, so then you have to weigh up, is Diaz able to cover Salah, so that you can upgrade elsewhere to cover that Game Week 12 blank. The thing I've grappled with besides Spurs assets this international break the most is whether or not to get Trent. So this is my Trent draft, and the elusive Solanke that everyone's talking about this international break comes in. I am 0.2 of getting Trippier back in this team and it being perfect. In order to afford it, Begovic would have to be Iverson, and I'd have to get a couple of price rises between now and Saturday. Now, the way the price rises are this international break, I'm not particularly hopeful of that happening, so I don't think I'll land on the dream team. Now, this draft all depends on whether we think we've seen enough from Pool to feel like going all in on 2 of their most expensive assets. Is it worth it right now? If they bang, I'm well ahead of the curve, and Martinelli or Cancelo in Game Week 12 to somebody a bit more premium would allow me even more wiggle room in Game Week 12. The thing about going with Pool is that they play in 12, they're premium assets, you can get on and off of them at any time and have plenty of money to spare. It's just whether or not you feel that Pool are where they need to be, given that Trent didn't play all international break and Salah came back early from his international duty where he scored for Egypt. So it's really taking a bit of a punt, but it's not quite as punty as Bowen was in the Game Week 8 wildcard, because you know that Trent and Salah have it in their locker and it is a really good fixture for them this coming game week. Of course, going Greenwood here allows a bit of extra cash elsewhere, like a second keeper. As I said at the beginning, we can't be sure that Gaeta doesn't lose his place, so it would mean having a bit of backup. Also going with this draft means I'm playing that back four line almost every game week, so I'm probably going to want to play a 4-4-2 formation most weeks. So I guess Greenwood does allow to move that money into that formation. But yeah, it does offer up a potential headache for Game Week 12. It does maybe book in a transfer. Now, on the prospect of going all in on Liverpool players, I have to consider going without completely and doing the hop along, which I'm seeing with a few creators this international break. For instance, in this draft, I can play KDB till Game Week 11, Game Week 12, and then down Martinelli and upgrade KDB to Salah. I could even have Zaha for Son in this draft and do KDB to Son and then KDB to Salah on the hop along in the next few game weeks, allowing me a good captaincy option for Spurs against Everton if Son continues to keep his place. KDB has done absolutely nothing to be dropped at this point, and United haven't been the best in defence, so it's not a terrible idea to keep him at all. The main problem here is for non-players in Game Week 12 and the absolute lock-in of transfers that I would have to do between now and Game Week 12 to make my team exactly how I would want it to be and to do those hop-alongs. So one injury could mean all of that would go a bit to pot. With Zaha in, I can get Trent and there would be some money to spare, so definitely something to think about there. Out of all of the drafts, the first one and this one where I have Greenwood in, allowing me to put the extra funds into midfield and defence, feels like the ones I'm edging towards at the moment. It really is whether or not I can go without Trent or a Spurs asset. That is my main dilemma this international break. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I really want to know what you guys would do if you had this budget and you were playing your wildcard this international break. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then please do smash a like. Please do subscribe to the channel. We're all mates here. You're really helping me out. Also, please feel free to check out my sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com. Until next time, Nymphree out.